It's our pleasure to welcome Ann Patchett to the Indianapolis Public Library's 2013 McFadden Memorial Lecture. Many of you know Ann Patchett, award-winning novelist, from many of her popular works, including Bel Canto, State of Wonder, and Patron Saint of Liars. In 2012, Ann was named one of Time magazine's 100 most influential people in the world for her efforts on behalf of the literary community. And we'll talk about that in a moment. But Ann, welcome to Indianapolis, and thanks for doing the lecture for the library.
I'm having such a good time already.
Good.
What a beautiful city.
It's been over 20 years since you've been here, correct?
I think it has been.
Do you recall? Do you recall the book that you were promoting at the time?
It was Patron Saint of Liars, and I was driving. And I would drive all night, get to a store, change my clothes in the parking lot, go into the bookstore, do the show, get back in the car and go. And that was my visit to Indianapolis.
Oh, how memorable. 20 years ago, a lot has changed for you over the years. 20 years, you've become a lot more prolific. But I'm curious how the inspiration for writing for you has changed in that 20 years. Has the flame continue to burn strongly over 20 years?
Well, I guess I just don't think of it as a flame anymore, which is a lot of what I'm going to be talking about tonight at the library, but I think of it as a job. This is work, and I show up and do my work. I think when you're young and you're doing your first book, it really does seem like a flame and an inspiration. And when you're old and you've been doing it for as long as I've been doing it, it feels like I'm showing up and punching the clock and doing my work, which doesn't make it any less of an art, but it makes it a little more responsible and reliable.
Right. Well, one activity that you've gotten heavily involved in over the last couple of years, and one reason Time magazine named you among the 100 most influential people in the world, was your opening of an independent bookstore, mainly because of the kind of the economics of the marketplace at the time in Nashville. How has that worked out for you, and really, why did you feel the need to jump into that fray?
We had two bookstores in Nashville. We had a Borders, and we had Davis Kidd, which was long ago our local independent, but had been bought by the Joseph Beth chain out of Ohio. Both stores were 30,000 square feet. Both stores were profitable every month. Both stores were closed at a corporate level. Of course, we lost all of the Borders stores and most of the Joseph Beth stores. So all of a sudden, I woke up and I'm in a city that doesn't have a bookstore, and that seemed untenable. I knew somebody would open a bookstore. I waited patiently for that person to step forward. They did not step forward.
Wow.
And I thought, oh, I guess if you want something done, you have to do it yourself.
And how has it worked out?
It's fantastic.
But has that gotten into your writing time? Is it harder to find? Is it challenging to find quiet times to write now?
It's always challenging to find quiet times to write, and it's enhanced my life. It's really been a complete plus. I have a fantastic business partner, Karen Hayes, and she runs the store. She orders the books. I am not behind the cash register. I am paying for the store, I'm promoting the store, but I'm not actually working in the store.
Well, it's great that you're able to maintain your writing habit. A lot of your fans are pleased to hear that. But what do you see down the road in about another 5 years? Are you working with or against the current out there in terms of your bookstore success?
The bookstore is going to be a big success. It's done very well. Again, just think about it mathematically. We have 60,000 square feet of retail space that are profitable. I have a 3,000 square foot bookstore. So you're collapsing 60,000 square feet of shoppers into 3,000 square feet. We're doing fine.
Good.
There are always going to be people who are going to want a paper book. A lot of people are reading digitally, and I think that probably we don't need 30,000 square foot bookstores anymore, but we're always going to need bookstores.
Has it helped that Time magazine cited you as one of the most influential people in the world for such efforts?
In the history of retail, there has never been a store that has gotten as much attention. The day that we opened in November of 2011, we were on the front page of the New York Times. Is that crazy?
You can't buy that kind of PR, can you?
No, and I've just been on every show, every NPR program, every media outlet, and I think it's because everybody wants us to succeed, and it's a feel-good, good news story. Look, somebody's opening an independent bookstore. The tide is turning, and I am heralding the turning of the tide.
Oh, great. We're also pleased and proud that you're still part of the library community because you're still on the board of the Nashville Public Library Foundation, so you're aware of issues and challenges facing libraries today. What is their outlook for the future?
Well, I am a positive person. And what I've really realized by opening a bookstore is we control our destiny. So we want libraries to succeed, then we need to get the message out there. Use your library, support your library, come to your library. It doesn't happen to us, we make it happen. If our bookstores close, it's because we're not using them. If you value your library, if you value your bookstores, you need to use them. The nice thing is, because I have such a firm grounding in the library world, and now in the bookstore world, I've brought them together. So when we have really big writers like Barbara Kingsolver, Michael Chabon, Annie Lamott, we host our events at the library. And it's been a great way to get people who don't normally use their library into the library, look around and say, this is beautiful, I want to spend more time here.
But books are alive and well and will be in the future, you are confident?
You can quote me, yes.
Good, okay, we will.
Yes.
What about what's on the horizon for you in terms of anything soon to be published?
Yes, I've got a new book coming out the beginning of November called This is the Story of a Happy Marriage. And it's a nonfiction book about all sorts of different things I feel deeply committed to, married to, book selling, writing, art, marriage. So I'm excited about that. Not so excited about going back out on book tour, but it'll be okay.
And that's a collection of essays, you
Yes.
say, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, again, you're speaking here at the library's 2013 McFadden Lecture.
Yes.
And good fortune for those who can come tonight and see you and hear you. But for those who can't attend, what message will you be sharing?
I'll be talking a lot about work tonight and how I think that inspiration and creativity and all of those things that I believed in so much when I was in high school and in college are really important. But at this point in my life, I think inspiration is a match, and living a life in a warm house is splitting wood. So I think I had the match, and I think that was a really long time ago, but I think I have been splitting wood ever since, which means I have a job and I have a career, and it's not the muse whispering in your ear. It is getting out there day after day, showing up at the computer and writing.
Yeah, you can have the talent, but if you don't work at it and keep
Exactly.
at it, no way.
Exactly.
Okay. Ann Patchett, thank you for taking time to spend with us before your lecture. The McFadden Lecture is sponsored by the Library Foundation, and best of luck.
Thank
Look
you.
for Ann's books in local bookstores and check out for free at the Indianapolis Public Library.
Thank you.